This is CKC News with Anastasia Story and Ollie Wallerson with Sunny Day on Weather.
Good morning, Kids Club, and welcome to CKC News. Today's story, Thanos, Loki, and a talking donkey.
Bibles say what?
Don't worry, Ollie, the Infinity Stones are safe. Besides, Thanos and Loki are only here to help us tell a story.
Whew. There are some weird, wacky, wild stories in the Bible. Stories many of our viewers may have never heard before.
Now, why are these stories in the Bible and what can they teach us about God?
These are all great questions. Let's go to our field reporter, Chris, to see if we can get some answers.
Talking animals in the Bible. When you hear that, you might think, oh, animals that talk, huh? Then the Bible must be a fairy tale or a fable. It's just a story, just like other stories where animals talk, like Chicken Little, or The Jungle Book, or The Little Engine That Could. Actually, wait, in that one, it's a little engine that could talk, but you get the point. Guess what? It's true. There are two stories that I can think of off the top of my head where animals talk. One that you might already know, involving Adam, Eve, a forbidden tree. You got it, the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Well, that's our show for today, folks. Sayonara! JK, we didn't talk about the second story yet. This one involves a king, a sorcerer, and a donkey. No? Nothing? Huh. Thought I'd get a bigger reaction than that. Let me level with you. It's the story of Balaam and his donkey. It's about how God can do anything to get someone's attention.
So the story of Balaam and his donkey takes place in the book of the Bible called Numbers. But don't worry, there's like zero math in this story. Some quick geography and history though. We take you back in time to when the Israelites, God's chosen people, have been freed from slavery in Egypt and are wandering in the wilderness, waiting to enter the promised land. They're taking over city by city with God's help, and the nearby king, Balak, starts getting super nervous. King Balak figures, it's only a matter of time before these Israelites come to my kingdom of Moab and invade and take over everything. And then what's a guy like me, King Balak, gonna do? Become a servant to the Israelites? No way! So he summons a sorcerer named Balaam. Don't get them confused. Balak, king, Balaam, sorcerer. We don't really have sorcerers today, but back then, sorcerers like Balaam would charge money from rich and mighty people and then do strange evil magic to bless or curse other people. That was Balaam's whole job. Oh, and we know he had a donkey. More about the donkey later. Balak tells his messengers to say to Balaam, a nation has come out of Egypt. They've set up camp next to me. So come and put a curse on these people. They're too powerful for me. Maybe I'll be able to win the battle over them. Maybe I'll be able to drive them out of the land. I know that whoever you bless is blessed. And I know that whoever you curse is cursed. Remember, these were ancient times. We don't really know where Balaam got his ability to bless and curse, but we do know that this time God himself comes to Balaam and says, do not go with them. You must not put a curse on Israel. I have blessed them. Now, Balaam obeys God and says no to the king. So the king tries to bully Balaam by sending more messengers, and Balaam says no again. Finally, the king just straight up offers to give Balaam tons of money. But Balaam says, Balak could give me all the silver and gold in his palace. Even then, I still couldn't do anything at all that goes beyond what the Lord my God commands. So King Balak's trying to get Balaam to curse the nation of Israel, even though God told him not to. King Balaam keeps putting on the pressure, so God tells Balaam, these men have come to get you, so go with them, but do only what I tell you to do. Balaam's doing pretty well so far. He's paying attention to God's voice more than anyone else's, more than the powerful king, more than the crowd of people, more than the temptation to disobey God just this one time and get super rich. But will he keep listening to God now that he's on the road?
Hey, we're live.
Welcome back.
That story was getting good.
This might be Marvel's best production yet.
Up next, we have Abby with a segment on dog training. Abby?
Hey, I'm Abby. So I heard in the Bible there were animals that talked, which got me thinking, I believe in the Bible, so I'm gonna try to teach my dog to talk. Otter, all the answers to the questions are yes. Are you a dog? Are you a dog? Say yes. Do you love me? Do you like pizza? Are you a big dog? Yes. I don't know why you like these. Will you talk if I give you a treat? Say, Mom. Say, Dad. Dog. These smell terrible. Please. Can you say, Abby? Abby. It's only 4 letters. 2 of the letters are the same, so it's practically 2 letters. Abby. No, I said watermelon. Try again. Watermelon. Okay, I gotta go keep trying. BRB.
Wow, that's one giant dog.
It sure was.
It sounds like we have our infield reporter Chris live with a pair of donkey farmers. Take it away, Chris.
Hey, so since we're at the part of the story where we've actually met the donkey, I thought it would be good to talk to some people who might be some experts on donkeys. These are 2 farmers, Nicole and Rich.
Hey guys.
How are you?
And in the background there is their donkey.
His name is Israel, but we call him Izzy for short.
So what kind of donkey is Izzy?
He's a Jerusalem donkey. Going down the middle of his back is a black line, and then it breaks off on either side of his shoulder blades to form a cross.
Oh, wow.
And that's why he's called a Jerusalem donkey.
What can you expect when you get a donkey?
Well, they're stubborn. He kind of like does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. Their natural behavior is a guardian of flocks. They're just a natural protector. Like if there's something going on that shouldn't be, that's when he'll bay really loud.
Do you have a good donkey impression that you can either of you?
I would Google it. It sounds like he's screaming.
He kind of like starts with it's like a whistle. It's like
Wow, that's amazing.
There is a funny Izzy story. A farrier, which is kind of the person that comes and gives the animals, the horses and the donkey, pedicures, trims their hooves. Izzy was getting his done about a month ago, and Izzy was done, but the farrier wasn't. And so Richard got drug about 5 or 6 feet by the donkey because he was ready to go.
It was kind of freakish, I didn't know what was going to happen. It kind of taught me a lesson. I didn't realize just how strong he was until he just pulled me like I was a balloon.
What do you do to get a donkey to do what you want it to do?
Food.
They love watermelon.
To feed it, make sure your hands are flat like this. A lot of kids tend to curl them up, but you want to make them flat, and they'll just take the food right out of the palm of your hand.
Does Izzy have other ways of communicating?
He kind of will come up to me and he puts my thumb in his mouth and he kind of sucks on my thumb.
No way! Is there anything that you would like to tell any of the kids watching about donkeys in general?
They love people. Again, they're stubborn. They do things they shouldn't do, like most kids. But they're very nice. They're very nice creatures.
Well, thank you both again.
You are welcome. Have a great day.
Yes.
All right, and tell Izzy thank you.
He's right behind us.
Bye, Izzy. So much, buddy.
Welcome back to CKC News. Let's dive right back into the action.
This next segment is straight from the Bible in Numbers chapter 22, starting at verse 21.
Balaam got up in the morning. He put a saddle on his donkey. Then he went with the Moabite officials. But the angel of the Lord stood in the road to oppose him. Balaam was riding on his donkey. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road. The angel was ready for battle. So the donkey left the road and went into a field. Balaam hit the donkey. He wanted to get it back on the road. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path. The path went through the vineyards. There were walls on both sides. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord, so it moved close to the wall. It crushed Balaam's foot against the wall. So Balaam hit the donkey again. Then the angel of the Lord moved on ahead. He stood in a narrow place. There was no room to turn either left or right. The donkey saw the angel of the Lord, so it lay down under Balaam. That made Balaam angry. He hit the donkey with his walking stick. Then the Lord opened the donkey's mouth. It said to Balaam, "What have I done to you? Why did you hit me these 3 times?" Balaam answered the donkey, "You have made me look foolish. I wish I had a sword in my hand. If I did, I'd kill you right now." The donkey said to Balaam, "I'm your own donkey. I'm the one you have always ridden. Haven't you been riding me to this very day? Have I ever made you look foolish before?" "No," Balaam said. Then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes. He saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road. The angel was ready for battle, so Balaam fell with his face to the ground. The angel of the Lord spoke to him. He asked him, "Why have you hit your donkey 3 times? I have come here to oppose you. What you are doing is foolish. The donkey saw me. It turned away from me 3 times. Suppose it had not turned away. Then I would certainly have killed you by now. But I would have spared the donkey." Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned. I didn't realize you were standing in the road to oppose me. Tell me whether you are pleased with me. If you aren't, I'll go back." The angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but say only what I tell you to say." Balak heard that Balaam was coming, so he went out to meet him. "Well, I've come to you now," Balaam said, "but I can't say whatever I please. I can only speak the words God puts in my mouth."
Okay, lots going on here. A donkey opens its mouth and talks to its owner, which is definitely unusual. But the question we have to ask ourselves is, why? Why are these events reported in the Bible? And what might God want to tell us? Remember, the important thing is that God can do anything to get someone's attention. He got Balaam's attention by making his donkey say real human language. And God can do that because he made the donkey and he's God.
Abby again. So I've been trying to get Otto to talk. Not going well at all. But maybe God wants to show me something through my dog. Otto? He agrees. God always provides for me and my family. One of the main ways he provides for us is he always makes sure that we have food to eat. Just like I always make sure that Otto has food to eat. Otto depends on me like I depend on God. That's a Great Dane eating off a kitchen table. I put Cheerios in his food to make him eat it. Sometimes I get really worried about things, but God reminds me that it's important to play and have fun. I am realizing that God wants to spend time with me. He doesn't care what I'm doing, if I'm just hanging out with my dog or playing with my dog. He cares about what's going on in my life, and he wants to talk to me. He wants to hear from me. That's what he's teaching me right now through my dog. He can be a part of even the simple things, like hanging out with Otto. Right, Otto? Right? Oh.
Watching Abby play with that giant dog is a mule sing.
Oh, that was a good one.
And now, for some final thoughts from Chris.
All this tells us something really important about God. God wants to have our attention because He loves us. And He has things He wants to tell us and show us, including when we're doing something He doesn't want us to do. Balaam started off well by paying attention to what God was trying to tell him, but eventually his donkey was doing a better job of paying attention than Balaam was. And instead of taking a second to think, what can I learn here? Why is this happening? God, what are you saying? Balaam totally missed a chance to hear from God. God can speak to us in lots of ways. Sometimes He wants to encourage us to keep going, and sometimes He wants to correct us or teach us. There's always a chance to stop and change direction. And one way to do that is to take a minute and listen.
Thanks, Chris. That's our time. I'm Anastasia Story.
And I'm Ollie Wallerson.
And this has been CKC News, where the news
is sometimes really old.